What's up guys, Nolan here, and today I figured it was a good time to go through all of the gear that I used as I progressed through the game during the wipe in patch 12.6. I don't have the Kappa yet, but I have my hideout fully upgraded and I'm on the final tasks leading to the Kappa, including the guide where you need to survive every single map in a row, so there's really not a whole lot left to worry about, especially for gear. I will note first that practically all of these weapons, unless I built them for a specific purpose or task, were looted from players or scavs. I like making things quick and easy, so I tended not to change much and run things as they were. My very first raid, I used the MPX that EOD players start with, along with some PSO ammo, a P.A.K.A., and a bank robber. I would bring 2 bandages, 3 AI2s, and some painkillers with me, while keeping a bandage and an AI2 in my pockets hotkeyed. The AI2s and bandages were a constant that I even continue to do today. I just replaced the 1-use bandages with the 2-use. And just in general, I try to keep ibuprofen, some kind of surgery kit, and if it's the CMS, I bring a splint with me. If it's the Serv 12, then I don't, and an IFAK in my container at all times. I was lucky enough to get a Docs case pretty early on, and then once I was able to get a sick case, I replaced that with the sick case. When it comes to what I keep in my pockets and how I keep still just 1 bandage and 1 AI2, even to this day, it's very rare that you will need more than those as instant access. Otherwise, you should be able to get back to your container. Doing this not only saves the meds, but more importantly, leaves less clutter in your pockets and your vest. A few hours into the wipe, I moved to the MP5K with PSO until I had gathered up some AK-74s. I stuck with the AK-74 with T ammo until I looted some various better ammo like BT. I would run these AKs with a polymer handguard for the rail so that I could put a grip on it, usually the RKO from Skier. I would also put the butt pad on it from Prapper. At some point early on, I killed Killa, then used his Agolnik to farm him more until I made a solid chunk of money. My go-to kit for gathering and just running around in the first couple days was the Kiver face shield, level 3 armor, and a kitted PP19 using PSO ammo. I switched to this once I had access to be able to constantly buy the entire kit and wouldn't need to worry about it. My next stage was using an Exfil Helmet I looted along with the Killa armor and an MDR shooting M855A1 to get the more dangerous tasks done. I liked the MDR because it had better stats than an M4 at the current trader levels. I soon after ditched the MDR because I didn't like how 5.56 was shooting at the time and switched back to the AK-74. I wouldn't worry too much about how the AK was kitted, and I had looted some nicely modded ones from reserve, so I just ran those. After this point, I was primarily shooting BT, at least if not BS or a Golnik. I would switch between the PP19 and the AK depending on the map and time of day. I very often found myself going out with the same AK I was using in the early days, even in my mid to late stages of the game. And this was just the grip and the butt pad, not even a red dot. If the AK I had found or looted had a rail on top, I would put a red dot on it, or if it had the dovetail, then I would put a red dot on it. But otherwise, I really didn't run optics too much at all. The next stage was level 4 armor or no armor, as I didn't like how level 4 and lower were acting at that point. This was a little over a week after the wipe, and I would constantly find myself dying instantly where armor wouldn't help, or to circumstances around losing limbs and not having the ability to repair them in time or at all. I also wouldn't wear helmets either for the same reasons. My go-to was really only what task I was doing at this point. If I needed Mosin kills, I would use a Mosin shooting LPS with a PP19 shooting PSO as a secondary. If I needed M4 kills, I would use an M4, usually one of the task reward ones, as they were reasonably modded and readily available from the flea market. If I needed shotgun kills, I would use the Saiga with AP20 or buckshot if I didn't have it yet. However, the majority of shotgun tasks, I used AP20. Once I got to the guide, I used an expensive M4 I liked at the time, which you should be seeing the build for, then switched to an M1A, which you should be seeing the build for the outdoor maps. The last map, I switched to the Juice Cannon, which you'll see the build for, with a thermal for the last run on Shoreline. I used an Alton, Slick, Bank Robber, and a Burkut the entire time. This was my survive at all costs setup. If the M4 hadn't worked, I would have switched to the Juice Cannon, but I had a good feeling about it and it ended up working out fine as I completed the guide first try. For those that don't know, the guide is the final Peacekeeper task and it requires you to survive every single map in the game in a row. And if you guys want to see how I did that, the VOD is still up. I just did it yesterday, so you can go find that on my Twitch channel. I never had a need to significantly modify any of the weapons that I had, nor did I need too many of them up until I got to the shotgun task, as even with AP20, sometimes the shotguns just weren't good enough. My farm kit was a PP19, Kiver face shield, a bank robber, and level 3 armor. My mid-level kit was level 4 and a modded AK shooting BT. My survive at all costs kits were Killa or Slick, Exfil or Alton, a bank robber. Then it was between an expensive M4 build, an M1A, or Juice Cannon. These were shooting M855A1 or M62 rounds respectively. As I run today, I will either run no armor or killa armor and a high tier helmet like an Exfil or maybe an Ulak. The gun is what I feel like using at the time depending on the map. I found myself really enjoying the PP19 even with just PSO, and I don't think I'll ever do a pistol, shotgun, or Mosin run again, as it's just all around better for reasons that I go into in my Yeet Kit video. I found myself really enjoying the 545 AKs more than I usually do, and they've even now buffed them with lower recoil, while I am still disappointed with how 556 is acting recently. I think this may be the wipe I officially turn into an AK guy, or maybe a full-time 308. We'll see. Just wanted to run through what I was using this wipe, as I've been getting asked a lot about it. If you have any questions, feel free to drop by the stream over on Twitch and ask. I'll be able to give you a more in-depth answer on anything. If you want to learn anything about Escape from Tarkov or its development, then you can check out my posts for it here. If you're looking for people to play with, then check out the Discord below. If you like this video, then you know the drill. I really appreciate the people who do. Otherwise, I hope you at least learned something, and I also hope you have a nice day. See you guys.